Hi and welcome to Gamers Web 3D print. Today I'm going to carry on my 3D print of the Xenomorph by Sparx for Ripleys Pet. Okay, so the head's not attached on the model, it's just blue tacked on to keep it in position so I can see what it will look like. So I'll just take that off now and I'm going to do the next few steps. Okay, so I'm going to now give this a gentle dry brush of Citadel Cadian Fleshtone, which is a paint from Games Workshop. To do this, I basically put paint on my brush and I put on a piece of cloth or tissue to get most of the paint off the actual model, and then just gently over the raised areas brush this all over. If you've never dry brushed before and you do this for the first time, it's pretty astounding the amount of detail that just pops straight out by a simple fact of just actually running a brush over the top of the paint, the miniature or the model. I've been dry brushing a long time. I'm still not an expert at it, but you know, you use what you can and it gives pretty good results. So what I'm doing is I'm dry brushing this on all the light areas, the bits that are raised up. So concentrating on the legs, the top of the arms, the top of the shoulders, the top of the spines that are on the back of the kit, and also on the thighs and the tail, trying to get a fairly decent coverage with it, seeing if this will actually work, because it works quite well on the 32mm figures, but this is much bigger than 32mm, so I've got to make it brighter and also got to think about shadows and the way that light falls naturally. So as you can see here now, I'm just about to put more paint on, and I just actually dry brush the excess off onto my paint booth, which acts like a piece of cloth, any flat surface that you can get most of the paint off. And as you can see, I'm not doing too hard strokes on the actual model itself, just going over very gently to try and get as much of the detail raised as possible. Now the spines are a little bit fiddly. They have a habit of bending and you think they're going to snap, and because this is a resin kit, it's something that I've got to be very careful with. So I'm now doing the same thing with the head. I'm just dry brushing all over the brown area, the US earth that we used yesterday in the last recording. I was going to say flat earth again. It's not flat earth, so I'm just dry brushing over that wash, that mix, sorry, and again putting more of the paint on the thing to get it off my brush. Right, so I'm waffling here, so I'll just leave that for a second. You can actually just see the way that I do it. Now, the reason why I used a flesh tone on top of a brown is because I wanted to get an organic look. So now I'm about to go to my next colour, which is Citadel Leadbelcher. This is a very dark gunmetal colour. It's ideal for doing lots and lots of things, but I like to use this on the alien to actually pick out the piping that runs, the ribbed piping that runs along the body and on the head of the model. So what I've done is I've put some on my palette. As you can see, my palette needs a good clean because it gets used all day, every day, and I've thinned it down with some water, and then I'm just putting it on. I don't need to be too careful because part of this is going to be masked in a little bit anyway, because I'm going to cover it with something else. But silver works really well with the brown and blends in and gives it like a techno-organic look, which is the kind of look that Giga had with his artwork. Because if you look at any of Giga's art books, it's always sepias, browns and ochres, all muted colours, nothing very bright. They're all muted colours, and a lot of his artwork had silvers in it. So pop this in and hope it works. But you could be the judge. Let me know in the comments if you think it's worked or not. But yep, I'm quite pleased with this kit. I'm looking forward to doing the next one in the series that I've got, which I'll be presenting, which will be Deja Torres from John Carter, Warlord of Mars. And that's a 3-piece set with John Carter, Deja Torres, and Tharek, who's the really tall Martian. That's also from Sparx, and I was quite lucky because I thought, you know what, it's only a few pounds, and I managed to get both of them really cheap. Okay, so this is me using Leadbelcher now on the head. Now I am picking out the teeth here. Again, I've watered the paint down, so it's quite not runny, but it's not as viscous as it was before. I've lowered the viscosity by adding water, and I'm just gently running this over the mouth and the area where the teeth are. And then once I've done that, I'm going to pick out the piping on the head. So this should be, hopefully, once it's done, it should be all right. Now I've got to tie all this together. As you can see here, it's quite difficult to actually paint underneath a camera, and as you saw then, there's a little mark on the head. For some reason, even though I painted this a few hours ago, it's quite sticky still for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, add this wee drop of paint on the ribbon that runs along the side of the head, and then I'm going to retouch up the top of the head with Vallejo paint in a moment, and then I'll come back to it quite, a couple of times until I'm happy with it. Now the entire thing so far, from start to finish, has probably taken about 55 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, and that's including stopping and starting the camera, because I've done this on camera whilst I've been painting it. Okay, so now I'm going to top up the top, clean up the top of the head using Vallejo Black, and again, this is going to be watered down slightly. I'm just going to dip my brush into my palette. If you look at the front of my palette, I've got a little well that's got some water in. Now I've only used 2 colours in there, one's black, one's silver. I'm not really too bothered about cross-contamination of the colours. You just get the point of the brush. Now this brush is a Humbrol size 1. I don't tend to use anything smaller than a 0 if I'm painting. I do paint miniatures a lot, and I tend to use either a size 1 or a size 3. As long as the brush has got a good point, that's all I'm bothered about, because that's what you really need. Because my eyesight's quite poor, I really need to have a decent point that I can control. Now, if you look at the way my hands are, I'm holding the brush with the same way you would hold a pen, but I'm actually bracing, you can't see, but I'm bracing my finger against my other fingers whilst I'm painting to try and keep my hand still. And I just moved away there so I can do the back of the head. And that's me trying to paint upside down, which is a silly thing to do. I should have just paused the camera and then come in and turned it upside down. Now, I did actually learn from this mistake, and when I was doing the next part, I actually put this onto my painting platform and blue tacked it in place, so it was a little bit safer. And I wasn't also getting paint all over the model. But to say I'm doing it freehand and I'm, painting underneath my field of vision, not doing too badly, and you can tell exactly what it is. It looks like a xenomorph from Aliens, which is exactly what I want. Okay, so just about done with this now, and we move on to the next part, which is applying Agrax Earthshade Gloss. Now, it's really important to use the gloss, not the standard version, which is why I ran my finger underneath the word gloss, because I want to get a glossy finish on the the browns, which is what this is going to go over. Now, if it goes over the black, it doesn't really matter too much. As always, with these kind of paints, Games Workshop's lids are a pain in the neck. They never sit properly. Now, this is a paint holder that Games Workshop sell for a few pounds, and I find it really, really good for washes and contrast paints, because they're not cheap, they're very expensive, and if they spill, you know, that's quite a bit of money gone. So this was from my local games store, Sixes to Hit, who are one of the sponsors of Gamers Web, and I picked this up last time I was in the store, and it's quite a good thing, but there's still the actual lid causes a lot of problems. Okay, so I'm actually using here a size 8 brush. This is a huge brush. I use this one predominantly for painting tanks and terrain, but it's ideal for putting washes on large areas. So I'm just starting that off on this one now. So I cover everything completely with a generous helping. Now, I'm not bothered if it pools, because it will add to the bio-organic look, which is what I'm actually trying to find the contrast with. And that's me now done the body, because I finished the rest of the body off camera because I didn't want to bore everybody. And now I'm about to start on the head, and I do the same thing again, pop it into my wee pot holder so it doesn't fall out, and then using my smaller brush, which is from the same range, sorry, for this is the Humble brush, I just basically paint over everything again. Now I'm covering everything, including the silver. I want to tie the silver into the brown, and hopefully, as you can see, the ribbon detail on the head there just popped out straight away. Now, once this dries, a lot of the paint will actually, excuse me, will actually stain the recesses, and it will look a lot better, and it'll give it more definition. Excuse me. Right, so as I say, it doesn't matter about painting over the black parts. So completely cover the black part, and that is more or less it for this video. Hopefully next time I won't be coughing as much. So if you want to join me next time, I will be looking at the rest of the build and finishing it off, and then starting on Ripley. Thanks for watching. Bye.